Guys, welcome back. I'm Laura Wilkie with Down Home with Lemon Pie, and I'm going to share with you guys what we're doing in this school year with our core independent lessons. All right, guys, so I already shared with you what we're doing as a whole. We do a family learning style, Charlotte Mason, and I shared with you already what our main things are for science and history and Bible and just all the things. If you go back and want to check out that video, I will link it below. But those are like our family subjects, the ones we do as a group. And we do need to have those independent studies where the kids are doing things at their individual level. So I'm going to share with you guys what I'm using this school year. This school year we have chosen to road school. We have moved our family into an RV. There's a whole playlist where you can follow along called Our RV Life. And that is linked below in the comment or in the description of this video if you would like to follow along with what we've been doing. But we are just kind of schooling on the road, moving about and learning as we go. Okay, so living in an RV brings about some different challenges that we have not had in the past. The biggest one is space. So since we could not obviously bring our huge home library and all of our homeschool different games and manipulatives, all the things that we had, a lot of that went into storage. So we have had to scale down, but I'm actually super excited because it has really simplified, it forced us to simplify what we're using. Okay, so if you didn't already know, I have 7 children and they are ranging in age from 11 down to 8 months old. And so for this school year, I'm going to be having a 6th grader, a 4th grader, a 3rd grader, a 1st grader, and 2, I have twins that are going to be my little preschoolers. And then of course we have the baby. So the Charlotte Mason kind of divides them into Form 1 and Form 2, and I'm doing something similar. So Form 1 is going to be my 1st and preschoolers, and Form 2 is going to be my 3rd, 4th, and 6th graders. Okay, so for my little bitty guys, my Form 1 guys, we are going to be using a couple of different things for math. Mostly we're going to be using just natural basic elements. We are currently at a spot that has a ton of little mini pine cones, so I'm going to collect those. They will be our manipulatives this year. And something I did last year with my kindergartner was we did his ABC journal. And then once he finished his ABC journal, we just started kind of doing some basic little math facts like this. Now you can see we didn't actually, this is a whole journal full, and we didn't actually fill up the whole thing. So because of that, his name's Philip, and sometimes I gave him something fun, just a little change, you know, to keep it interesting. But we're gonna do exactly this again because he really enjoyed this. He thought this was fun. It didn't take me but a few minutes each day to just draw out a few equations, and he had something he could work on. And I liked it better than having like a workbook because I could simplify it and I could personalize it with where he was that day. So if he was having kind of a rough day, then I might add more fun stuff. And if it wasn't, you know, it wasn't even something we did every day because it was just kindergarten. So we're going to continue that, his little math journal. And we are also going to continue these, the 100 Curious Things to Count book. I showed you this last year. I love this because it has every single number. And some of the math books, when it says they're counting hundreds, once it gets to 20, then it goes 30, 40, 50, and it doesn't do individual numbers. So I love that this one does. So we're going to continue this mostly with my littlest ones, my twins. I'm going to let my 1st grader teach my twins now. It's good when the kids can teach each other because that kind of cements it into their brains too. This one, the Telling Time book, we did bring this one. And this has the movable clock, so we'll be using that for just basic telling time, like the 1 o'clocks and the half hours, like the full hour and the half hours. So we'll just see how we do with that, but I like how it's done. It's really cute. So we'll be using that. And we did not get to Math Games 3 like I intended last year. We did 1 and 2, Anna's Math Games. And unfortunately, we didn't get to 3. We could have, we just didn't. So we're going to do this one. I love the Anna's books because it is very hands-on, but very like real life and play-based. So I think it's cool. Some fun things for us to do. Even my girls remember doing these and they're like, I want to go back to that. So this will be fun. Okay, so for Form 1 for reading, we are doing a ton of picture books. I brought picture books with us, some of our favorites, some that correspond with what we're going to be doing. We're doing early American history, so things, I brought along our collection of the Little House picture books. I brought along, like I said, the classics like Corduroy and Caps for Sale, all of those. I also picked up some new ones that we're going to be trying. I'll share those with you guys later. But I'm excited for those. We've been doing them just in the evening. I don't even really make it a thing because really my days are focused on my Form 2 kiddos, my 3rd, 4th, and 6th graders. Additional things for math, we'll be doing some building games. I did bring our Magna tiles, so we'll do those. I also brought our Some Swamp game, board game. I brought pattern blocks, so we'll do some of those things. Just some fun things to just keep it fun and easy and loose that they can play and teach and learn together. Okay, so for writing, I'm super excited about this one. It's also kind of reading. I found the McGuffey copybook download. It was a free download. I do not know if it still is a free download, so I will link it below if you're interested, but it is the McGuffey Readers, and it's the first one, and it's got the book, like the read part, and a part where they can copy, do copy work, so do handwriting. So I'm super excited about that. I'm going to be just printing it out and putting it in a folder, hole punching it, and that's going to be kind of his writing space. Okay, let me see if I can flip it back on. So until they get to be about Form 2, I'm going to be keeping it really light and easy and fun. My 1st grader is reading. He's beginning reading, but reading. So I brought along some of our beginner readers. The Pig and Elephant book, I brought along that one. I brought along a Busy Town one, a beginning readers, just things that I thought he'd be interested in. There's a biscuit one, some others. But so we'll be doing those together, just him and me one-on-one. I also picked up this Bible, which I'm super excited. I like the Kenneth Taylor things, and this is the new Bible in Pictures for Little Eyes. I like this one because it has the questions that you can kind of review together after you've read it. And anyway, we're going to use this as well. I've been doing this one, a different one like this, but during evening time when we're putting them to bed. So we'll probably continue that if it goes well. Okay, so let's talk about Form 2. This is my 3rd grader, 4th grader, and 6th grader. Let's see. Let's see, where do I want to start? Let's start with grammar, language arts. Okay, so grammar, we've always done just a little bit, and I had done these in the past, but I kind of strayed away from them, and we went to Rod and Staff for a little while, and I liked that too, but we went away from that because this year I wanted to kind of get away from so many workbooks. So this year we're going back to these, and we'll do them actually as a group. So this isn't really gonna be a grade specific thing, but you can make it that way. And it is the Emma Searle books, the primary language lessons and intermediate. These are the two, and these are the old books. Gosh, I want to say they're like 100 years old. If not, they're really close. Let me see if I can tell you real quick. Yeah, so these are from 1911. This one would be right around the same time. And there is some things you can get to go with these. These have been redone. I have not tried the redone part. There's also like a teaching manual that goes with them, which would be really helpful. And there's, I believe, like a something on Amazon I think I saw that it was basically updating it for modern language. But these, we're just gonna do these because that's what I already have. And so I'm kind of a thrifty mom, so these are what I got. So we're gonna start here, and we're just gonna do them out loud. I have a time set aside in our schedule. I'll share my schedule with you later, and we're going to do them kind of however it has. We're not gonna do every single lesson. So for this one, the lesson 1 is a picture lesson where they answer the questions. Lesson 2 is you read them this little passage. They can copy it in their journal. You can see one of my kiddos got to this one, but it's okay because we're actually skipping that lesson. But dictation, which actually falls along with spelling. So you show them the first 3 lines, they practice those, and then kind of study them. They pick out the words they think they need to study, and then later they write it as you read it aloud, and they write it from memory, where they see how if they can spell all the words correctly. So if that makes sense. If it doesn't, let me know, and I will do a video where I kind of walk you through it. But that is what we're going to do. Some of these lessons we're going to skip, just because I don't need to do every single one, especially like all the memorization ones. We're going to skip all of those because we really want to focus. If we're memorizing something, I want it to be more from the Bible. So we're going to be skipping that part, but we're adding into that some of the things. We're going to be adding in supersized Mad Libs, kind of as a fun way to do grammar. And then I have a couple games that we had last year, and we're going to continue them this year. They are by The Good and the Beautiful. I have Treehouse Town, the Parts of Speech game. And I have, this is Luke and Lily of the Lighthouse, the Compound Words game. So we're going to add those in as well. For writing, we have not really done a lot of writing. We've just not done a lot of actual stories, and that's okay if you are in that same boat, because kids, until they're about where my oldest is, about 6th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, somewhere in there, they're not really ready for it anyways. I know that in today's school they push it so much sooner. I think they're starting it in like kindergarten, and it's really not even necessary at that age. It's not really even necessary for all of the ages in between there until they get up and old enough to understand. So I haven't worried about it. But this year we are going to start working on it. We're going to be doing Story Starters, which is by Karen Andreola. She also wrote the Charlotte Mason Companion. If you haven't read that, it is fantastic, especially if you're wanting to do a lot of the Charlotte Mason type studies with your own family. It walks you through it and will help you to do them well. So for Story Starters, you have a little story starter, basically, that your child then continues the story. But it's so much better than the ones like when I was a kid, it was something like, tell about a time when you went to the ice cream shop, or you got a new flower on the way home from school, tell about what you did. Okay, they were just very simple and basic. These ones are so much more exciting. They start off exciting, so I think that your child's not going to have any trouble continuing that excitement. Okay, so here's an example of the picture that it's got a story that goes with it, but here's an example of the pictures they have. This is a story that's talking about a little girl who has accidentally started a fire in their house, and her siblings are rushing in to help her, and you continue the story. But it doesn't just give you a little blurb, it gives you several paragraphs. It says, this picture shows an intense scene. Describe the commotion that arose and what took place afterwards. Give your story a happy ending. So it's not crazy and weird. I actually think it's going to be really great. It does have little helpful tips here. It says, describe how quickly Emily worked, what she did. How did this spare poor Violet a burn? And that could have been more serious. Make your astonished character speak. Describe the burning process with sensory language. What did they feel, smell, taste? What did the boys do to help? Give your story closing remarks by the characters. And then it has an additional challenge. So you can have them the first day write it, and then the second day do this. But the second part is Use some vivid verbs related to quick emergency action. The vivid verbs below are some suggestions. And then it gives you some choices. And then you can do the next one. There's tons of these, and they're even categorized for you by beginner or intermediate. So if you've got kiddos at different levels, it's like this one here, number 2 is both. You can see the B and the I there at the top, and that's for both. And it tells you why. And anyway, I'm excited about this. I think it's gonna go well. We'll see. I'm going to primarily do it with my 6th and 4th graders, but we're gonna try my 3rd grader, just basic trying. Obviously his expectations will not be the same. Okay, so let's talk about math. We are sticking with our beloved teaching textbooks. We have 4 and 3rd grade here. I can get it all together. This is something we've done for years. We love it. And this year we'll be adding in 6th grade. These are so heavy, but I'm excited about them. And something that happened last year was our laptop accidentally got broken by one of my little ones, and the kids weren't able to use their CD anymore on their teaching textbooks on the laptop. So we introduced using the book, and I have 1, maybe 2 that actually now prefers the book. So we'll see. They might do it that way, I don't know. But they liked it because they could go quicker through it. They didn't have to wait for all the talkie that the CD sometimes does, and the different things, and you know, so we'll see. Anyway, if you haven't used this before, it is on a CD, actually 4 CDs here, and it's got the answer. This is the answer booklet that goes with it. You've got the text, and it teaches them and grades it for you if you do the CDs. Otherwise, I just let them look them up in the back and grade them themselves. So it works really well. We're going to use that, and with that, I am adding in math journals. Last year we did a dry erase board, which worked really well as well. But this year I want them to have, I wanted them to have something that they could use to easily line up their numbers. They were struggling a little bit, and this isn't quite what I was looking for, but I'm gonna try it. This one is smaller than I was hoping inside the squares, but we're gonna still try it for lining up, but it's just the grid paper. I think it might be okay. I don't know. This one has, the blue one has the bigger squares. I'll link these, they're from Amazon. I'll link them. What I would really have liked is all of them to be like this size or bigger, but we'll see how they work. But the yellow and pink are teeny tiny, see? And then the blue is bigger. So I'm gonna give the blue to my 3rd grader, the other 2 to my bigger girls, and that will be their math journal. And then we will keep these, unless they wear them out, they'll use them again and again and again. So again, that kind of simplifying our supplies, we're going to be using that. Okay, so for Form 2, for their reading, my kiddos I just give them books that they're interested in or that have to do with the subjects that we're learning. So like the American Girl books, my boy has started reading the Tales from Maple Ridge books. My oldest daughter is sweeping through the Boxcar Children and the Mandy books at the same time. I can't tell you how many she's read since we've been in the RV, and it's only been like a month, but she has read tons of them. And so I'm just going to take some of those and assign them if needed, but for the most part, it's just kind of free reads as available. I brought a bunch. We also have access to the library here locally, and you know, so they'll get to pick what they need, what they want to read, and then each day I give them a time set aside during our quiet time for a certain amount of time that they have to read. So easy peasy. That's reading, writing, and math, language arts, all of those basic subjects. And like I said, grammar we're doing as a group. So if you missed my other video, you want to know what we're doing for history or science, or we're doing all different subjects. I can't even recall them all off the top of my head, but if you want to check out the video, I will link it below so you can see as well what we're doing in our home. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.